Welcome to Local Omaha. I'm Ken Bartholomew.
And I'm Kelsey Wiedel.
Each program we come to you, our program's about small entrepreneurs, well actually small business, not small entrepreneurs. It's about small business, community activities, local events, local nonprofits. And we like to have business people come in, kind of tell us what their motivation was, how they got started in business. And this week, Kelsey, if you'd like to introduce our guest.
I'm only 5'3", so does that make me a small entrepreneur?
You'd be perfect for small business.
Well, I'm Kelsey Wiedel, and our guest this week is Haley Rogers. Thanks for coming on, Haley. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Good. So please tell us a little bit about your business, Joe on the Go.
All right. Well, at 5'4", I probably do qualify for a small business owner as well.
Perfect.
Yes, but I am also the owner of Joe on the Go, Espresso Catering, and we bring that coffee shop experience to you. And so we specialize in employee appreciation, teacher treats, and personal celebrations.
Oh, how cool.
No, I was just gonna say that's really cool. I love the smell of coffee. So how long have you been in business?
Well, we have been in business we just hit 20 years.
That's what I thought.
June. But I personally have been the owner for coming up on about 3 years.
Okay, nice.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So what type of events or where do you usually set up, or where's a lot of your business that you see people reach out to you for?
Sure. So we service the Omaha metro area. And in terms of what types of businesses we cater for, it honestly ranges. It's if you need coffee, smoothies, if you need a way to treat your guests or your employees, that's who calls us in. But like I mentioned, it's a lot of small to medium-sized businesses that we tend to work with. Medical facilities, we work with a lot of PTOs. Honestly, you name it. And then, of course, we have all the personal celebrations. So if you have a upcoming graduate, that's when we
just thinking, that sounds like a
we
great
just
idea.
came off of our busy season in May. So we're kind of like recovering from that still. But that's
I was going to ask about that, what the busy season is. So when I think coffee, I think fall, winter.
Sure.
But maybe not necessarily. It's more event driven then?
It is. It's a little bit of both. What
Okay.
I tend to see as trends in this industry is that it is seasonal. So we get pretty busy in the fall, but then that peaks in December because everyone is looking for a way to, enhance their corporate Christmas party or maybe say thank you to the teachers and staff. So that's where we see that peak in December. And then we kind of, dip off and then we ramp up again as we get into April and May.
Okay.
Because in May, you have a lot of the appreciation type events. We have Teacher Appreciation Week, we have Nurses Week, and then, of course, the grad parties.
Yeah. That sounds interesting.
I have to apologize. For the last month, I've either had allergies or I haven't felt well. So I keep having to clear my throat or drink water or whatever. So I apologize for that. But, Kelsey and I were talking about this because we've been involved in some different local activities, things like that, whether it's, runs, parades. We're always, it seems like there's somebody that's over that area or coordinating, let's have coffee or let's have some kind of refreshments. And this is perfect because it just seems like it's a hassle for us to, set it up and get it going. But
And then you have to have someone there to man it, and it's really, it takes a lot. But if you have someone who already has the supplies and everything ready to go, and then do you offer both manned and unmanned services? Do you have someone there that's doing the smoothies and making the drinks, or?
Really good question. So with our catering, it is truly that coffee shop experience. So every time you book our services, it is coming with a coffee cart. That's our mode. That's where we serve off of. We found that allows us to go inside or outside. It lets us be really flexible for the event. But every booking comes with an expert and trained barista. So
nice.
it truly is, it's that easy button when you're looking for providing that beverage service because we do it all, we bring it all.
I love that because I feel like I know how to maybe pour a cup of coffee, drip coffee, and that's about it.
So then what kind of offerings do you have? So so if I wanted you to come to an event that we were hosting, is it do I select the number of offerings? Is it always, it's like, hey, we have these 6 things plus this, Or do I'm like, well, I just want one or two, or how does that work? Or
Right, really
the
good
selection,
question.
I guess.
So we try to keep things simple because again, that's
Right.
kind of what we're here for. And our main offering is our espresso bar. So
Okay.
that's what we do. Espresso catering, that's what we're experts at.
Okay.
But we understand that every event is unique and we want to allow our clients to personalize it. So we offer a smoothie add-on. We offer add-ons such as oat milk, donuts, pastries, muffins. So you really have the opportunity to take it from just your simple espresso bar and then modify it as much as you want for whatever you envision for your event.
Nice.
That's really cool.
Well, no, I was going to say then, so, excuse me. Oh, and then I just hit the mic. So then, you can tell it's a scripted.
You know what? Every small business owner has struggles.
Small
Today.
business owner? So anyway, so what I was going to ask is, as far as the product itself, do you have your own, do you have a proprietary blend of your own, or what is that?
We do have a special blend that we worked with Aromas out of Lincoln to curate. But then a lot of the syrups and the other ingredients we use are pretty common and pretty standard for what you would find at any coffee shop. Because again, we want to keep that consistent. We want to give you what you would expect when you walk into a Scooters or Starbucks or even something local. We want to have similar offerings.
I love that because I feel like I've seen a lot of options, where you can order, a carton of coffee from Panera or Starbucks or whatever, but it doesn't give you that, A, the experience, but B, also someone that kind of knows what they're doing, because I know that I know what I like to drink, but I don't know how to make that at all.
I can't even imagine, because when I go into a place, I'm more of a smoothie tea person. But when I see all the offerings and everything that they have, I'm just like, I don't even remember
I feel like has that been a struggle for you as, trends come up, learning new drinks or staff training new drinks and things like that? Because I feel like every day there's a new coffee drink. How do you guys keep up with that?
Absolutely. So we definitely follow trends because we want to provide offerings that our clients and our guests like to order and like to see. But at the same time, we're a mobile coffee bar at the end of the day. We can't bring every single trend, every single syrup that's available. We need to be able to keep things efficient and mobile to be able to come to you. And so we really keep an eye on what's popular, what our guests are ordering. So we have some, fan favorites, so to say, that are always going to be on our menu. But then as things become more popular, we're going to throw them on the menu, give them a try. If they're popular, they stay. If they're not, they get the axe.
Oh, cool. That's, I think, one of the big benefits of being your own small business owner is you don't have to follow a corporate standard. You get to switch it up what works for people for you.
Yeah, and I'm very lucky to have a very knowledgeable and communicative team. And so they'll say, hey, Haley, I'm getting a lot of requests for this type of a drink. I'm getting lots of requests for matcha. Can we give that a try? And we do. What's the worst that can happen?
Oh, cool.
So let's say we have an event, and if someone calls and they're interested in reserving, booking, having you come out, does that tie into the number of people that we believe that we'll have at the event, or is it just, do we steer the whole thing ourselves? If we have 200 people we think are going to be there, do you recommend one setup or two, or how does that work?
Well, if someone were to go to our website, we do provide some general information as far as our capacity. We don't ever limit how many drinks we can serve, but I'm big on providing a realistic expectation of our equipment can make this many drinks per hour. So as an example, our expert baristas can make about 50 drinks per hour. And so if you have an event where maybe you have 100 people on staff and you want your event for 2 hours, then you would just simply book us for 2 hours long.
Okay. Nice.
And if you're not sure of what you're needing or you want some advice, that's where you say, I don't know, or you just give me a call and we work through the different options.
What is a fair amount of time to book out? What should somebody expect? Is that like, if they're like, is it a month, 2 months, a couple months? Do you have some people book, like, just make sure they have it for the next year kind of a deal?
So that's not a tough answer because I can say that, 2 weeks in advance is typically a good amount of time.
Nice.
We understand that we have some people who are last minute and we always try to accommodate them. But at the same time, there's some random dates that get booked out 6 months, a year in advance. I don't understand the rhyme or reason for it. So
Right.
what I always recommend, especially for our upcoming graduates, our 2026 graduates, is if you know what date you want your grad party and you know you want coffee there, book us now.
Right.
Same
Yeah,
thing.
that's a great thing because people probably aren't thinking about it now, but as we go into senior year, you only get busier.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's such a great idea. I like it. It's,
So is this your first experience with Joe on the Go? Is that your first experience as a business owner?
I've had some online and some coaching business previously, but this is my first time, I can't even say brick and mortar, but with more of a service-based business.
Oh, how did you get started? How did you decide that this was the business for you?
Well, I actually had an opportunity to work for Joe on the Go about, I think, 6 or 7 years ago in the capacity of a barista. I've always been in coffee on and on. You'll find that once you are a barista, it's really hard to put that job down. It's a very fun job to have. And so I've always loved coffee. So again, I worked for Joe on the Go briefly and stepped away. And then when I saw that it was looking to change owners, I just knew it was the right fit.
yeah.
Cool. What has being a business owner, what has that experience been like for you? What have been some of your great achievements and then some of the things you struggled with initially?
Sure. I will say that being a business owner is probably the best personal growth opportunity you could ever embark on. You're not going to get these lessons sitting in a classroom. You're just not. And so some of the biggest lessons that I've had as a business owner is more so personally than professionally. But it's really come down to communication and boundaries. Those are some things that I struggled with at first. I think any firstborn female recovering people pleaser can probably relate to that.
I can.
So, you know, you do that and then you realize, hey, I need some boundaries, not only for my sanity, but for the success of the business. So I'd say that's both my challenge, but then my greatest achievement is being able to overcome that.
I love hearing that because I feel like no matter how experienced you are or how educated you are in business ownership, I feel like no one talks about the personal side of it as well. And how many things you learned that you had no idea would be an issue or had no idea would be something you would struggle with or encounter, no matter how prepared you are. So everybody's got that unique individual business story.
Absolutely. And I think anyone who tends to lean more towards perfectionism and wanting to plan ahead, there's just some things you can't plan for. And so I think, again, for me personally, having to come up with some of those challenges that I thought, here's a great example. In our busy season, one thing I never thought I would ever have to worry about, never even registered in my mind, was our vehicles that we use for catering being parked in our office parking lot. They got ran into. They got totaled out of nowhere. And I thought, I never thought I'd have to worry about when we were in our own parking lot.
Right.
Like, sure, I kind of worry when we go, you know, when we cater events that are further away.
Sure.
Or just, you know, out and about.
But you just can't plan ahead for something like that.
No, you can't. But at the same time, it really teaches you to let things roll off your back and just work with it.
That's great. Do you feel like your experience as a barista maybe helped you prepare for that? I feel like the barista environment might be similar to the restaurant industry where you never know like what's going to happen and you just kind of have to pivot in the moment. Do you think that kind of helped you or segued you into business ownership?
I think it certainly helped, especially having that context, not only as a barista, but working for the business itself. I kind of understood some of the challenges firsthand. And even, especially during my first year of business ownership, I really wanted to be in the field. So I knew what pain points my team was having. And so having been in it firsthand helped me make some of those corrections and tweaks to better prepare us. But you're right, there's some things you just don't know are going to happen. And I joke, that's one of my interview questions for my team whenever I'm hiring someone. I need to know how good they are at problem solving. And one of my baristas, in fact, she considers herself a MacGyver. Like, that's who you would want if you're on a stranded island. And to be honest, that's who I want on my team. Because, you know, if it's something small, they can overcome that challenge.
That's fantastic. I feel like it also allows you to be able to step back as a business owner too. I see a lot of, and I've done it, Ken's done it, everybody I know has done it. You get so involved that you can't take a step back and see the bigger picture as a business owner. Have you been able to successfully transfer into that with a great staff?
I have. I would say not only having a great staff, but again, I stepped into a well-oiled machine. We were 17 years in by the time I stepped into it. So
Yeah.
we had all of our processes and everything down pat. And so once it came to, making sure I had a great team built up, which I'm very fortunate to have, I was really able to take a step back and then continue to optimize our business and grow it.
So how about repeat business? Is that, you're talking about you 3 years, total 20. Do you have quite a few recurring annual type
Yes,
events?
we are so fortunate that we have a lot of loyal clients that we work with. And to be honest, that is our backbone. I don't know that we would be as successful if we didn't have that repeat business.
Wow.
You said something a minute ago that I think that we hear a lot when we have different business owners in here is that it's like a passion. It's like you can't imagine not doing that. And we've even had people ask us, like, what's your motivation, or what's up with the program that you have, and that kind of thing. Kelsey and I've had the opportunity. I've worked in large business as well as small business startups, things like that. Kelsey comes from more of the service industry, is
Locally owned
yeah,
businesses.
quite diverse, locally owned businesses, and we just love that vibe and the entrepreneurship, and then just helping small business. I like to trade with small business and help, whether that's supporting, I'm also in real estate, so whether that's supporting the small businesses that are associated with an individual transaction or a home sale, that type thing. But you're right, it's like a passion, and then if you like it, because some people walk in and go, really? That's what you like to do? And you just do.
Everybody's got
And I also like where you said, obviously education is important, but then there's, being in the line of fire and that mentorship that's there as well. I feel like that's where I benefited the most throughout a career is when you have somebody that can help lead you through, whether it's a training process and things, like that. Because you can study and you can read a lot, but when you really get in there to understand your cost of goods and your labor and some of the different things that you're working through and what really, like you said, those things that arise, you can't, it's like, boy, I never expected that my equipment would get hit in my own parking
It
lot.
really humbles you quickly. I feel like,
yes.
you think you're a planner and you think you've got everything all sorted out and all of your financials are on the line, and then something like that happens.
Yeah. But that's what keeps things interesting.
Yeah,
I don't think any of us would be in a small business or be an entrepreneur if we weren't open to that.
Right.
And it keeps things.
Right, it does. It's just that it's every day is similar, but it's not the same.
Oh, yeah.
So
Life would be boring if it was.
how long is the longest tenured person that has been with your company?
Well, I am really fortunate that I
That
have.
predates you?
What's that?
They predate you?
I do.
Yeah.
So I have 2 baristas who have been with us for, I think Andy's been with us for 6 years and Kelly coming up on 5. And I could be wrong because time flies, so it might
Right.
be 7 and 6 at this point.
Right.
So I'm very fortunate that I have a couple who have stuck around with me.
How neat. I always love hearing that too, because I feel like that's like my number one indicator of a well-run business is how employee retention. And it's also costly too as a business owner to train new employees. Do you find that how are you getting employees now? Are you getting current baristas? Are you training unexperienced people? Are you getting word of mouth? How are you finding people to man your coffee carts?
So I've definitely gone the traditional route with having my job posted on Indeed, and sometimes I do find great baristas through that. I've had a couple who have just somehow found out about the business. They liked what we did. Maybe they experienced us as a guest or a customer, and they've reached out to me personally. And to me, that does go a long way. If you want to be on my team, I want you here. I want people who want to be part of serving joy, serving coffee to others. Now, your question about experience, I tend to have a lot of baristas who apply because, again, they know coffee, they want to get back into coffee.
Right.
But that by no means for me is a limiting qualification, because if you bring the personality, if you bring the work ethic, I'm willing to train you how to make coffee.
Fantastic.
So we do have a little bit of mix.
Oh, I love hearing that. That's great.
What kind of advice, looking back now, that if there's somebody out there that's looking at getting into their own business and their own startup, that type of thing, what type of advice a bullet point or two that you would give somebody that maybe looking back now?
Oh,
Let me ask you this.
to boil
Let
it
me ask you this
down,
real quick.
when
Let
you're
me ask
writing
you
a
this.
novel.
Well, no, that's not a fair question. Run with that one. Run with that.
Okay, so if I had to really boil it down to 1 or 2 bullet points, if someone was looking to get into business, I would say, first off, follow your interests. If you're interested in something, it's for a reason, and it doesn't have to be the end goal, but kind of treat that like breadcrumbs, see where that takes you. And the second piece, I think, really piggybacks nicely off of that is what I see is a lot of people will have this gut instinct, similar to when I saw that Joe on the Go was for, trading owners, and instantly I was like, this is what I'm going to do. But then of course we get in our heads and we start to talk ourselves out of this great idea, or ask, Susie and John for advice, who really have no business in giving us any advice because they're not where we want to be. So my second piece of advice is to really trust yourself. Sure, ask trusted advisors and friends that you do respect and are a couple steps ahead of you, but otherwise, ignore anyone else. Ignore your Aunt Sally who's going to say this is a terrible idea.
You can always respect and love people on a personal level, but I feel like a lot of people I know, and honestly me too, you either have this business mindset or you don't, and it's difficult to separate that personal versus professional advice.
The thing I really like about your business model is that you're going to the customer. From a brick and mortar standpoint, and again, I'm not, obviously you know this, but from a brick and mortar standpoint, or when we, had our business together, that you end up, people are coming to you to a single physical location that you assessed, what's the total accessible market or available market here? What does that look like? What are the numbers? How will we be able to pull, those types of things, where you're actually you're going to the individual. So that's cool. I like that setup. That's pretty sharp. And
it is. And from a business perspective, let's be honest, it keeps overhead low. So I think it's a great business model in that aspect, that we get to go to our customers.
So talk to me about smoothies. What type of smoothies? Because that's my...
Really, that's what I'm interested in.
Smoothie. Honestly, yes, a smoothie, a tea, we love all the goodies.
Yeah, so I heard you mention teas, and we do try to include a couple of tea options because, again, I don't know who these people are, but we know that some people don't like coffee, so they exist. But then the smoothies is, we use Dr. Smoothie is the brand that we use, and it seems to be very popular. People love it. And we just carry some of the most popular flavors of that season. So typically that's something like strawberry, mango, peach, mix them all together. They're gluten-free, they're dairy-free, so really friendly for anyone who doesn't like coffee.
Oh, I feel like it broadens your available market during different seasons too. Maybe nobody's thinking, I want to book an espresso bar in June, but if you've got, pastries and smoothies too, it sounds like a great idea for a bridal shower or something like that. How cool.
And I will say our smoothies are definitely more popular during the summer. That's why we offer them. We also have frappes, which is blended coffee. So I really like to say that we have something on our menu for everyone.
Is the tea, or like cold teas or hot tea or both?
So our two most popular teas we offer are green tea matcha and chai tea, and we can do those hot, blended, or over ice.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
So again, a little something for everyone.
Is there a local happening or a larger local happening that's coming up that you're a part of, or are they more individual?
Yeah, well,
kind of more the structured
public events.
Right.
That's a really good question. So we do occasionally get hired for public events, but the majority of our events, at least for the foreseeable future, are private events.
Nice.
So they're a company or they're a personal, someone having us in. So unfortunately, you won't necessarily see us anywhere unless someone wants to put us on the books, which is fine by me.
No, sure.
I love that. That means you're not having to go out and manually look for, some of those smaller sellers. They're looking for when's the next farmer's market, when's the next craft fair, things like that. But if business is coming to you, it must be able to be streamlined so much better.
And we certainly did dabble in farmers markets and in craft shows because,
That's
again,
what I was wondering.
yeah, I mean, as a business owner, you always want to experiment and see what works. But what I found to be true, at least for where we're at in business right now, is that we're really good at catering. That is our expertise. And so I just really wanted to keep my team and the business pure and true to that and just do what we do well.
Fantastic. I love seeing people be able to narrow down their niche. I feel like sometimes everybody wants to do it all. I want to do it all person and cater to everybody. You want to please everybody. But when you find your niche, it really helps. I feel like that's part of why you guys are so successful. I mean, we keep hearing about Joe on the Go, and then, one of your employees came in and you just came so highly recommended. So we were excited to feature you on the show today. We are running out of time.
Well, I wanted to make, that's what I was, because I want to be careful, or make sure that we get in. So what's your website? If somebody wanted to, where does somebody go to find you?
Yeah, so you go to joeonthego.com. Each word has a hyphen in between it. And here's the kicker. It's Joe, the feminine Joe, J-O, not J-O-E.
Right.
There is a
I
Joe
noticed
on the go,
that.
but they're like on
I noticed
the
that.
coast.
I have a sister. She's Joe, J-O.
J-O. I
You didn't know
honestly
that?
never thought about that. No. The more you know. And I love her website is very easy to navigate and very clear. I love it. You would love it. It is perfectly aesthetic, but also functional.
Let me ask you this.
I have to say that.
Before we wrap up, is there anything that you thought we might ask or that you would like to convey that maybe we didn't ask the question, or anything?
I think you guys really nailed it. So everything I came
Good.
into, I expected. The only thing that is more of like an FAQ that I typically
Sure.
get is we are not a coffee truck. So that's first and foremost. We serve on coffee carts that only
That's great.
require
That's good. Yeah.
one standard outlet to operate. So if you've got an outlet within
Just a 110, just
That's
a regular.
great to know. I didn't
Yeah.
even think to ask that.
So it makes things pretty easy, and we have a total of 4 coffee carts. So that allows us to be doing multiple events at once, or slightly larger events where we'd need to amp up the number of coffee carts and baristas to accommodate the groups.
And rain or shine, like this is set up outside, inside, either one's fine, as long as you can have access?
Yes, well, we cannot be serving in the rain, so we always ask for clients
Okay.
have a rain plan. But yes, because we're a cart, if it's a blizzard outside and we can safely get there, we can come inside and
can
serve.
see you now.
I love that. Well, then
We're out here serving coffee. It snow's pelting you in the face. Sorry, thanks for that.
I should clarify, safely get there.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know
more
if there was a
places.
canopy set up, or how it worked. And
Well, who knows? But this Nebraska rain and heat and snow, you have to have a backup plan. So
Oh, yes.
fantastic. Well, thank you so much.
thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks for having
Appreciate
me.
it.
Yeah,
And thanks
thanks
for
for joining
tuning
us.
in. Thanks.